All right, so we're gonna try to get going again. Sorry about that. The game crashed last time. All right. If you're wondering why I set my call sign the way I do, just throw my name in there, and then the flight number is actually my battle tag for BattleNet. So for when I stream Diablo 3 or play Call of Duty, feel free to add that Safson 1348 as my battle tag, and hit me up sometime. We can play. And then as my own little flair here, uh, small little correction here. Obviously, I don't know my own battle tag, right? 1384. There we go. All right. I always throw the heavy on there just because I'm a bigger guy, so I like representing that there. And then we're going to be seeing if we can fly. It's not going to let us. So there we go. 15. I want to fly 15 because that's going to give me the flight direction I want. And then we're going to go ahead and hit fly. All right, so we're getting there. Hoping once I swap out the parts that I ordered for the new computer build, switching to an NVMe drive that is going to be large enough to actually hold all of my games on there. So I'm hoping this part. My headset cut out there for a minute. All right. Not sure where it cut off there, but once the computer parts come in, um, I'm not only switching out the processor and motherboard for much newer, better, and memory for a much higher. I'm basically doubling my memory I'm sorry, from 32 gigs to 64 gigs, and then for the uh, processor going from a 8350 to a Ryzen 9, and then uh, the biggest part is switching to the NVMe's for my hard drives instead of a. This game is actually installed on a spinning disk, uh, and it should make a huge difference when it comes to loading the actual game. between all of the bottlenecks being upgraded. Go ahead and take off. Alright, so I'm going to stay low because my goal is to find a road and follow that road. So I'm going to adjust my trim so I don't do backflips again. Not that I'm going to be landing in the water, but I absolutely love this aircraft because it can do that. First time my wife was sitting here watching me play, she's like, I don't think you're supposed to be that close to the water. And then she saw me like touch down, and she was like, yep, this is why I'll never be flying with you. I'm like, come on, babe, that's what this is supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to fly into the water like that. She was not amused, to say the least. Those of you that don't know, I'm currently going through my ground school. I've only had like one lesson, so not going to act like I'm 100% proficient in anything flight. In fact, the only thing I know of is the actual parts of a plane, and that's pretty much it. We've covered like the pitot-static system and things like that. Basic aerodynamics and engines. But other than that, that's about it. So hopefully soon I'm taken to the sky in real life, but that has not happened yet. All right, so these two big round alfalfa plots here, I'm flying past those, and then I think the goal is maybe I land and drive the rest of the way in. I'm going to play that by ear as soon as I start getting closer. Those homes over there is where I want to see if I can get a nice view of one of them. I'm going to attempt to do a nice little flyby and say hello, but we shall see. It's a pretty tight space over there. When I do this, I'll flip to the external view and get a little lower and slower so that we can get a good look. Obviously, in a real plane, I won't have the luxury of being able to flip over to exterior view, but while I can, I might as well enjoy it, right? Alright, so we hit the brakes, we're going to try to slow down and almost to a stop. Those of you into realism, obviously you can ignore the fact that that car just drove through my wing, but some of these trees are in some weird spots. Oh, well, obviously the trees are real, and I can't go through them, so I might have to just do a flyby instead of a drive-by. But we were close. I'll restart and I'll fly back that way and see if I could slow down enough through the air and get a nice look at it, and hopefully I don't crash again.
Kilo Lima Hotel Mike traffic Savson 1384 heavy taking off runway 15 straight out departure.
All right, here we go for attempt number 2. I'm sorry for the jerkiness of my controls here. I'm using the trigger buttons on a Xbox controller, so it's not the best in terms of gradual presses to adjust the rudder for on-ground control. I'm going to adjust my trim again. Alright, so I got the road there in front of me. Now let's go see what we can see. Now, I guess I could turn realism off for what I'm trying to do, but right now the only assistance I have on is auto mixture, so I don't have to worry about that. The amount of class we've had on it, I don't feel comfortable managing it myself yet, so yeah. However, I know when I was managing it myself, I tried to make a little flight from Sacramento down to Stockton, and I guess I leaned it out too much and essentially cut off the engine, so it was not cool. Luckily, I was high enough. I was surprisingly able to restart it. I'm not sure if that's a realistic thing or not, but it works there.
Savson 1384 heavy Norcal approach. Squawk 067 tree. Squawk 067 tree Savson 1384 heavy. Savson 1384 heavy radar contact 3 miles south of Kilo Lima Hotel Mike 700 feet. Altimeter 29.92. Air Transport 3426 traffic is 7 o'clock 4 miles at 700 feet Icon A5. Report them in sight. Copy Savson 1384 heavy. Air Transport 3426 have the traffic.
So I'm assuming it's gonna pop up on us pretty quick. So I'm gonna try go this way a little bit.
Air Transport 3426, you are 12 miles northeast of Capital. Contact Capital Tower on 125.7 when inbound. Tower on 125.7, Air Transport 3426.
If anyone's curious about my tail number there, MWG stands for Mystic Wolf Gaming. It's the crew that I run with. The number 2 just represents my my position hierarchy-wise. In the crew, there's my dad, who's obviously number 1, and then I have 2 little brothers that are in there as well. And by little, one of them's in college, the other one's a senior in high school, so not exactly little, but yeah. So just repping our little crew there. Alright, so the neighborhood I want is the second neighborhood. So we're gonna kind of fly around. See if I can get in there at a very slow speed. I already see one of the parks. And I should be able to kind of get a nice little slow down. Not all the way throttle, but coming just a little slow. Pull up and head out. Alright. So I kept my promise, did what I was asked to do, and now I will go find someone to play a little bit. One of the things I like about this game so much is the amount of realism to everything around here. Like this is kind of my neighborhood, and so flying around this area, minus the car driving through the cornfield there, the buildings and the structures, and like I flew by a local hospital not too long ago, and that hospital really is right where it was, and you know, it looks really nice, and they did a really good job. Right now I'm flying with my settings on Ultra, so I'm hoping my stream is not being affected too much. It is showing that I'm pumping out 18 FPS. You can see that in the upper right corner of my screen. It's not the greatest, but again, I think that is actually a bottleneck of the rest of my computer, not necessarily my video card, which I'm hoping to have upgraded soon. And then once the purchasing of flight hardware and flight controls goes down, I'm hoping I can go ahead and order myself an actual yoke. I'm looking at the Logitech controls. It has the yoke, throttle, fuel, and the throttle mixture and all that good stuff. And then I also would like to purchase the rudder pedals so that I can actually use my feet to steer instead of having to try to use the triggers on the controller, which honestly just don't work. Uh, it's not easy trying to fly that way. So sitting at 300 feet, I'm pretty sure we're violating some type of rule, but I don't mind. It's a lot of fun. So. So that's where we started, about 5 nautical miles in that way. So let's kind of head out towards what I would assume.
Hawaiian 20, you are 2,200 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain 9,200 feet altimeter to 9.902.
So I have Google Maps open with a satellite view of where I'm flying, the general area, so that while I'm flying, I'm able to somewhat know where I'm at if I don't necessarily see any landmarks. So right now I should be flying in Lincoln. Lincoln High School should be, I think it's off towards my right, because that's the airport. At 4 miles away, which means I should be kind of in a neighborhood called like Lincoln Crossing or so. Little golf course there. The water here is not long enough for me to land. I would end up hitting the water, skidding across the top, and popping out over these homes at ground level, which would not be very good. So if I do find somewhere large enough, maybe I'll set it down just so you guys can see kind of how this works. I am flying with my my flaps down to 30% just to keep me nice and slow. So when I do find something I want to look at, I can easily just throttle down and spend a little time taking a look.
Hawaiian 20, contact Oakland Center on 132.2. 132.2, Hawaiian 20.
I am trimmed, I believe, just a little bit more towards a nose down, so let me adjust that just a little bit. There we go. When you're flying at 500 or so feet, being trimmed nose down, and it doesn't give you much time to correct, especially when you're flying slow. This aircraft has like a 75 knot or 76 knot maneuvering speed, and so when I fly nice and slow, it gets a little interesting. But just the amount of detail that's into all of these little homes and everything is absolutely awesome. They do a really good job. There are areas like if you flew into New Orleans, there's an airport there where it's the older terminal instead of the nice new updated terminal. So hopefully, you know, this is a live update type of deal, and they eventually update it to the new current stuff. Keep it all up to date. That'd be nice. I know Google Maps doesn't update very often. Bing Maps is something I just have not been in a long time. I assume they probably update just as frequently, if not less. little house in the middle of nowhere there. It looks like somebody's got a little construction shed or something going on, like they're building out here. Some of these homes and like landmarks, just from driving around, I feel like I've been to some of these, but not 100% sure where we are anymore if I tried to map it out. All those nice looking pools in people's backyards. It was Saturday afternoon. I took a nice little fly up the American River from Folsom Lake. Went over the dam. On my approach, I came over Rainbow Bridge and flew up the river to the other side of the lake and enjoyed my time out there. So I'm pretty sure this right here is Rockland High School. Definitely Rockland High School. Looking at that little thunderbolt through the R there. It looks like those of you familiar with the high school, that's the varsity baseball diamond there behind the field. There's their pools. They should have a softball field nose right under my nose. There you go. That's the Olympic-sized pool, the kiddie pool next to it, as I call it. That's their gymnasium. And if I come back this way, and right to my left, and that first building, these buildings look a little weird compared to what I saw when I went there, but that little area right there is pretty much where I spent most of my time. That's where we worked on a lot of like the web design. What I just flew over there would be like Victory High School. And then if I come up this hill, this first left turn at the top of the hill, right here. This set of buildings right there would actually be Station 24's firehouse. I know they probably don't know what that was, I guess, so they didn't depict it very well, but so now we're flying through Rockland. If you guys want to see the other high school in Rockland, let me see if I can get flipped around to that view. So from here, we're going to fly right over Rockland High School and continue down Stimpard Ranch all the way to the other high school. So let's see what we can do. Actually, let's go this way. So these big old buildings here, this is actually the junior high school. And let's see if I can get a little slower. So right about there is my house from Rockland. And I lived there. It was a long time ago. So from this angle, I'm going to flip around back. There's an elementary school this way. want to go see the other high school. So let's go to the other side of Rockland.
Skywest 3509er, you are 2,400 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain 8,100 feet altimeter, 29er.9er.
So I think that's it over my left wing. If you look right over the icon, I believe that's the high school. Placement wise, it looks about right. I'll let you know what the logo looks like here in just a minute. So those are some baseball fields also to the left, and definitely looks like Whitney High School. You can tell that by the giant Whitney written in the football end zones there.
Skywest 3509er, descend and maintain 1,800 feet.
But, very, very nice looking the way they have all this laid out. Pretty up to date too. High school's been around for a while. There is one in Roseville that is essentially brand new as of this year. Would be nice to see if that's there, but I honestly don't know where it's at, so that would be a little bit difficult. And we come this way. I believe that sunset right in front of us, and this below us should be like William Jessup University, I think. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a minute since I've been out that way. And then this right here is what I believe to be William Jessup. Kind of stayed pretty much 4 nautical miles from Fitterman Field and quite a bit from Lincoln Regional. We should be back in that direction somewhere. So I'm greatly overspeeding my flaps, so I'm going to go ahead and take them off so that I don't break the plane.
Sapson 1384 heavy contact, normal approach on 127.4.
So below me should be Highway 65.
127.4 Sapson 1384 heavy.
And this exit should be like Pleasant Grove, I believe.
Sapson 1384 heavy, normal approach, continue as planned. Altimeter 29er.9er2. Sapson 1384 heavy contact, normal approach on 125.4. 125.4 Sapson 1384 heavy. Normal approach Sapson 1384 heavy, 400 feet.
Go down some flaps, 15%, 15 degrees.
Altimeter 29er.9er2. Sapson 1384 heavy contact, normal approach on 127.4. Going to 127.4 Sapson 1384 heavy. Normal approach Savson 1 tree 84 heavy 400 feet. Savson 1 tree 84 heavy Norcal
So
approach
we are
continue as planned.
heavily nose
Altimeter
down right
29
now.
decimal 902.
Those of you familiar with the area, this is the interchange between 65 and Interstate 80. I'm going to hang a left and go eastbound 80.
Savson 1 tree 84 heavy contact Norcal approach on 125 decimal 4. 125 decimal 4 Savson 1 tree 84 heavy. Norcal approach Savson 1 tree 84 heavy 400.
So continuing this direction actually takes us all the way out to Reno. I'm sure flying a plane, I have a much more direct route to Reno than going all the way through 80, but like I said, I'm not used to using these little VFR maps, and I know myself via landmarks, and yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and come inside the cockpit. It's a bit quieter here, so I won't have to talk loud to hear myself, which I'm sure you guys are all happy about, not having to hear me. Alright. I want to go find us some, turn all the windows down. I want to kind of go find us some water and maybe, land in some water here. So what you guys can see here, my airspeed indicator indicating about 85-ish knots. So I'm going to go ahead and slow it down. Do that by just going into a climb, reducing a little bit of throttle. Bottom left, you're showing the fuel. Top right's my altitude, which is showing us just shy of 1,000 feet. It looks like. The top where you see all the, it looks like a clock with the red, yellow, and green. That's my angle of attack. So if I go too steep, you'll hear the beep, and that lets just let you know that I not in such good angle of attack. The different temperatures you see there, those are all handled by the assistance that I have turned on, because I'm not 100% sure what I should be looking there. And then my RPMs, really I just try to keep it to where I can keep straight and level flight by not climbing unless I have to, and trying to stay around 76 to 80 knots, which I'm going a little fast for that right now. If you look at the bottom left, that's my key, my master on and off. My rudder pedals, if I actually trigger them, they do move. Off this way I have my my radios and my transponder, as well as my landing gear. I can bring it down as soon as it's down all the way. I can bring it back up. My flaps, let's not crash. How's that? like how I kept pretty much nose up attitude the whole time, and I found the mountains. Let's put it that way. So let me get us up a little ways, so I don't have to worry about that, and I can just say straight level, and I don't have to crash into anything. All right. So my gear is back up so I can land in water. My flaps, you'll be able to see that little thing switch. Now I'm somewhat overspeeding my flaps, so I won't go to 30, but then my different lights that you see down here, I can use my mouse to trigger them. So I can turn my strobes off, my navs off, and my landing lights off because, you know, I want to go invisible. A little further down, I have some in-off buttons. These are not currently mapped, but this one is. It is my water rudder. So when I am in the water, I am able to adjust what's going on. So I'm not sure what body of water this is, but what do you guys say we go take it down? Let's take a look. So I'm going to line it up, and we're just going to kind of land off to the right there at the water. I'm going to flip some flaps down, just kind of slow us down a little bit more. Make sure my gear is up. It is. And when I land in the water, I'll give you guys an external view of the plane. This is an Icon A5, which to me looks like a giant jet ski with wings. So it is just a two-seater. If I show you guys the stick real quick, that button on top adjusts trim. So this, I'm not sure what body of water this is. Maybe I can look it up once I actually touch down, but we shall see. So I have cut throttle back to idle. You guys want to see what it looks like while I guide down. You can see my throttle by looking at the little engine, and that little triangle that's at 0 is my throttle. So as I'm getting lower, I go ahead and I flare up just a little bit, kind of slow us down a little bit more, as well as bring us closer to the ground. And getting there, getting there. There we go. So at this point, normally I'll turn on the water rudder. And once that's down, I should have control of the giant jet ski in the water. Bring the throttle back down just a little bit so I can kind of give you guys a little tour. So from the front, that's what it looks like. Just like I said, looks like a big old jet ski with wings. Alright, so I said we'll figure out what body of water this is. Let's see. Judging by the look of it, I want to say this is Folsom Lake. Let's see, if I bring up my traffic control here, and I
Oscar 61 traffic Safson 1384 heavy is clear of the runway.
I want to find my nearest airport, but that's not seeming to want me to do that. So let's go back inside. And some of these newer planes got some really cool little computers. Yeah, so we are definitely in Folsom Lake if Cameron Park is the nearest airport. If I do this, I'm going to go ahead and hit my direct and activate. And what that's going to do is attempt to give me tracking to that location, which I believe, yeah, there we go. So it's not that far away. It's going to take me a left turn to get there. So let me go ahead and turn off the water rudder. And let's take this over to Cameron Park and park it for the day. How's that? All right, so let's give it some throttle, get up to speed. Set both my views. Get going in a decent direction to get there. Get out of the water. Continue our left turn.
Approach Savson 1384 Heavy is type icon A5 8 miles northwest of Oscar 61. Request flight following. Savson 1384 Heavy Norcal approach. Squawk 1652.
W1652.
Squawk 1652 Savson 1384 Heavy. Savson 1384 Heavy radar contact 8 miles northwest of Oscar 61 1000 feet. Altimeter 29.92. Copy Savson 1384 Heavy.
Oh man, I don't know which direction it is. Let's just do 31, see what happens.
Oscar 61, traffic Savson 1384 Heavy 7 miles northwest, 1,800 feet inbound to land, runway 31.
Alright, so this is the other assist that I have turned on. This is for me to work on my final approach. I guess what you would say is I'm a straight in kind of guy. I just like to see the runway and just go land. I don't care about the pattern. I don't care about anything else. So yeah, we're gonna figure this out with the assist. How's that? All right, so let's work on that here. When I hit the red, I'm obviously overspeeding, so I'm gonna slow down a little bit here. It's in the yellow, RPM wise. I'm gonna adjust a little bit, trim up. Let's see. See if I can't. So when they're red like that, that is telling me that I am going too fast. I know that we're still 3.5-ish nautical miles away, but it's just telling me I'm going too fast. So I'm going to go ahead and announce that a little early that we're on final.
Oscar 61, traffic Savson 1384 Heavy is on final runway 31 to land.
Alright, so I'm going the correct speed now, but I'm losing FPS pretty bad. So let's dumb down these graphics a little bit, take some strain off the computer. Alright, so what it seems like I'm maxing out on is actually my CPU and disk usage. So dumbing down the graphics probably isn't going to help much, but hopefully it takes a little bit of strain off the computer. Alright, there we are, matching the correct speed. Again, normally, you know, floating in the sky, you wouldn't see these little blue and red circles here or squares telling you to fly through them to enter the pattern, but again, I don't fly, so trying to figure that out for myself, I usually just go straight in. Seems that 60 knots is what they want you to fly normally, so I'm gonna try to stay around there. Alright, so we are finally entering the pattern here.
Oscar 61, traffic Savson 1384 heavy 2 miles west, 2,400 feet inbound to land, runway tree 1.
Alright, so it looks like I picked the good side. When I picked the runway, there is this side of the runway, it looks like, that is straight. This side is a hill, so it's kind of irritating when you're trying to come in and fly. I'm obviously going too fast again. Let me slow down. It was irritating when I was first flying into there because, again, this whole part of the flying in the pattern is foreign to me, so I would just pick a direction of travel and try to land in the runway. Doing so, I think I bounced off the hill once or twice and kind of freaked me out. I was like, okay, well, I obviously don't know what I'm doing. So I turned on this assist just to kind of give me a little look at how I'm supposed to approach a runway, because you always want to land. Slow down some more. There we go. You always want to take off and land into the wind.
Oscar 61, traffic Savson 1384 heavy is on base, runway tree 1.
And
Oscar 61, traffic Savson 1384
never really know which direction that actually is. this little left turn here. Of course, it's gonna tell me I'm too fast. Trying to find that sweet spot with throttle control. So obviously I'm descending, so that's gonna pick up some speed with God's G, and yeah. Slow down just a little bit more, pick up the front. Coasted in. Slow down a little more. Go a little slower even around this turn.
Oscar 6-1, traffic Savson 1 tree 84 heavy is on final runway tree 1 to land.
So this is the side that I was talking about, comes in over the hill. I should probably put my gear down since I'm coming in this way. Slow down a little more, way too fast. Get lined back up on the runway. Yeah, see, this is my problem. I always feel like I'm gonna just overshoot the runway. And there we have it. Get centered back up on the road like we're supposed to. Turn off my parking brake. Go ahead and taxi off the runway. Now these are actually people's homes over here, so we're just gonna go visit. And I totally oversped that turn, so forgive me. But let's go. Now I don't know where that guy's coming from because again, these are just people's homes. So we're gonna slow down and go park in one of their garages. A lot of these guys actually have their have their homes inside, or have their hangars beneath their homes, which is not really well depicted here, but it's pretty cool. Go ahead and slow down and park it right in this guy's. Right in this guy's front porch. Alright, there you have it. I'm all parked. My co-pilot can go kiss the ground now. They have made it safely to the ground. Although I'm pretty sure I hit that red truck, so I'm not really sure what to do there. Insurance prices are definitely going to go up, so we shall see. Alright, thanks for watching the stream. Have a good one.